Hi, welcome back. This is now Module 2, and before I move further into Module 2, I just want to cover a few more things that I may have overlooked, but I think you might find very useful for your classroom or for any reason at all. And one of which is a feature that is on the keyboard. This is on our iPad 3. Now, there's a dictation button that you can use. For example, if I'd like to Google something off of Safari, let's, before I do that, see this plus mark? That will give you the access to add multiple sites. So if I hit that plus mark, I can go ahead and save the sites that I'm currently looking at, and then go ahead and add to surfing for other areas. So I'm going to go ahead and just Google something, say dictation. And just by typing something in the Google bar, or if you type something into your browser bar, either one, it will help bring up your iPad keyboard. Once your keyboard is up, see this feature here? That's your mic, and that's your dictation mic. So I'm going to go ahead and X out of this last thing I Googled. And for example, if I'd like to look something up on Google without having to type it in, I can simply use my dictation mic. If I click on the mic itself, Pizza Hut. I click on the mic again, and you see it's looking it up, and there you are. I'm not sure how mic began there, but it picked up other things that I was saying after I said Pizza Hut. But we can try that again. Say you want to look up Chinese food. Chinese food. And there it is. So you don't necessarily have to type your information in. You can look it up that way. And I'll click on Chinese food, and it goes simply to the Google site for me. And there you are. So that's one feature that could be helpful. And it's a good dictator as well. If you click on your home button and go to your notes, create a new note, click on your plus button. See how your keyboard came up for you? Well, there's your dictation. Click on dictation. I'm in the meeting today, and today is June 27th, 2012. Today we're going to discuss the use of the iPad. So as you can see, it dictates pretty well. It has very good voice recognition. However, if there are different sounds within the environment, it may pick that up too, and it could distort the dictation. But that is one example of what you can use your dictation for. And once again, if I'm in a meeting and I'm dictating this meeting, I can send it to myself, or print it, or send it to someone else. And there it goes. Off it goes into the email. One other feature that I'd like to show you before I move on is also what you can do with dates. If you see a date show up, such as this date here, see how that line, see how it is underlined there, and it is highlighted. That's telling you it's a link. You can create a link to your calendar. If you see this available as well, when you are receiving an email and you'd like to create a link, you can do the same as well. So one example here, I'm going to land my finger on that link, and this window comes up and it'll ask me what I'd like to do with it. Well, I'd like to create an event, or I may want to show this in the calendar. So I'm going to show it in the calendar, and there it is. If I want to create an event, let's go back to Notes, tap on it, create an event. I can go ahead and type in the information additionally to this date. So this was the meeting. And done. Click on my home button. I go to my calendar, and there it is. Click on where it says meeting. I can click on edit and it'll show everything I have there. And I'm going to go ahead and delete that. Delete the event. Okay, so that gives you an idea of what you can do with dates. And once again, it's in your email too as well. So for example, let's look at something that would have a date. Well, okay, I'll pull up my own email, and there it is in my email. For example, if somebody sent you an email and they gave you a date for a particular event, just go ahead and click on that date and create your event. The entire information that's been typed, that's been emailed to you, will show up if you want that in your event. If not, then simply go ahead and change that information by using your back arrow and change your information to what you wish it to be. I'm going to go ahead and create it. I'm going to leave it as it is, and I'm going to say done. From here, I'm going to take it over to the calendar. And there it is on the 27th. This is everything that was emailed to me. And there it is. So think about ways you can use that feature. If that's a feature that you think would be useful. I have to tell you, I use that feature a lot, especially when I'm receiving emails with events and I don't want to write anything down. That is one great feature that is out there for you to use. The next thing I want to talk about is the map. The map is a very simple feature that you can use. I'm not going to go into extensive detail about the map, but it is a native icon on your iPad. If you just tap on the map, and you can put in directions on the very top left if you want directions or if you want it to search for something. The nice thing about the iPad map is that you see these highlights come up throughout the map. If you just tap on it, it'll tell you where it is or what it is. Okay? If I want directions, I went ahead and set up some directions to this La Quinta Inn, and the directions will show from one point to the next. So on the very top, if you type in where to to and from, it'll show you your points. If you want to change your features, as well, it'll tell you how far it is here on the bottom. If you want to change your features, see where this little page mark is, just simply land your finger on that and swipe your finger from the bottom right to the upper left, and that'll turn your page for you. And there it'll give you different features of the calendar. You can make it satellite view, or you can make it hybrid. You have the idea. Or if you want terrain. So that's your calendar features in the nutshell. The other feature that you have available that's native on your iPad is the calculator. And that comes free with your iPad, and that can be used anytime. We do allow our students to use calculators in the classroom as well as use the calculator off their iPad. We do monitor the students, so there's always 2 instructors in the classroom. So they do have access to their calculator. So those are 2 extra features that are available to you on your iPad that may be useful in the classroom. The other feature that I promised to tell you about was your volume and your sound control. Now, if we go back to our features, if you take a look at the features here, there's your volume button in the back. So if your iPad is standing straight up with the Apple straight up, it should be on your top left. And that's your volume control. Go ahead and toggle back and forth with that, and you will see how the volume control feature pops up on your screen. Okay? That's your volume control. The side switch that you see here, that's you can use that as a mute button, or you can use that as a rotation button. You can keep the screen from rotating if you want to lock it, or you can use that as a mute button. You can use it as either or. And in order to use that button effectively to how you wish to use it, go ahead and click on your home button and get out of that screen, whatever screen you might be in, and click on your settings. And click on General, right there. And you want to scroll down to where it says Use Side Switch. Right here. I am using it as a lock rotation. If I wanted to use it as a mute, all I have to do is tap on that bar, and now it's being used as a mute. The nice thing about using this feature as a mute is if you're in the middle of a meeting and you don't want any of your email alerts to come across, or if somebody is maybe trying to FaceTime you, it will be muted. So you have to use it as either one. And for example here, if I just muted that, if I went ahead and touched that one particular area and want to use the mute, then I go to the feature that we discussed and move your toggle switch to where you will see the orange button. And once you do, then you have turned that toggle switch on or off. Okay, so So I'm going to do it once again. I'm going to turn it off and then on. So you see how it showed the bell with no noise. Now if I receive any emails, I will not be hearing the alert sounds. It'll keep it at mute. Now if I wish to use this as a rotation feature, I'll go ahead and highlight lock rotation, and I will toggle my switch on. See how it showed that I can rotate it if I toggled my switch on, or I can lock it from rotating. I'm going to flip my iPad upside down, and you see that it's not rotating. If I flip my switch, and I should be able to see the orange button, that means it's on. If I flip my switch to the right, I don't see the orange button. It will rotate. You get the idea. All right, so I'm using it as a lock rotation. So you have sound, you have mute, you have rotation features, the keyboard dictation, all features that I've found very useful for instructional purposes, and students as well have found those features quite useful. The next thing we're going to talk about is looking at the essentials for the iPad. And I've put together some of the applications that I've downloaded and I felt were essential for academic use. And as well, some of these applications were already on the iPad. Now, I'm going to show you how to use the camera, and we're going to finish up that module along with looking at where your pictures go. This photo application should already be on your iPad. The App Store is how you will be able to purchase applications. The iTunes U allows you access to the university, educational material, and many of the material there is free. iTunes not only will help you with music applications, but also with educational applications. The Keynote is what Apple calls what you know to be PowerPoint. The Pages is what Apple calls Pages, what you know to be Word. Numbers is the same as Excel. PDF Expert, this particular application allows you to do both editing and it's also a reader PDF file. One thing to keep in mind is that the Keynote, the Pages, and the Numbers is native to Apple, meaning that is those are Apple products. So because they're native to Apple, you have access to any of these features via the iCloud. If it is not a native to Apple, you don't have access to the iCloud. So for example, the PDF Expert, if I wanted to pick up some of my files elsewhere, I can go to iTunes on any PC to get my documents off of PDF Expert, or I can read it directly off of my iPad. But if I forgot my iPad at home, I can't use the cloud to access my documents from PDF Expert. I will have to go to a PC because it's not native to Apple. And then I'm going to talk about the rest of the applications throughout. So the first thing I want to talk about is the Safari browser. You've already seen how that feature works and what you can do with the Safari browser in the classroom. And I showed you how to open and close. Now, if you go ahead and click on your Safari browser, click on that. Simple how to open a page. Now, to zoom in to your material, some of you have probably already learned how to do that, but if you take your two fingers, your index finger and your thumb, land in the middle of the screen, like you're going to pinch it, and keep your fingers on the screen and spread it out. And what that will do is enlarge your features. So for example, let me look at something here. And if I can't read that, I'd like to enlarge it. Pinch out. If that's too big, pinch in. Pinch out and then pinch in. Okay? And if you'd like to move it around, move your information around, just land on the screen and keep your finger on the screen and slide it back and forth. Okay? So if you are trying to read material from your electronic textbook, or even from your Safari, this is an excellent way to increase your readability. And you want to shrink it back down again to get the normal size. Once again, to add another browse through a different Google area. Say I'm going to look up, let's look up that. So now if you take a look at the top, I have several areas that I have surfed. And if I click on that one particular area, it'll take me back. And that's how you toggle back and forth to everything that you've been reading. Okay? So researching articles in the classroom is a cinch. Also trying to access the websites to pull up your electronic books. This is one area that I did pull up while we were on our break, and we use Lippincott. Lippincott has electronic book access, and Lippincott has developed features to represent the concepts for North Carolina. So here's one example. If I hit this back to concepts list, it'll show you all of the concepts available. All of these concepts were developed by Lippincott to make it user-friendly, accessible as an electronic book. If I click on any of these icons, it will take me to, any of these links, it will take me to the book features itself. So while we're here, we're going to discuss electronic books and how we use it in our classroom. Once again, if your publisher has not gotten on board with electronic books, you might want to contact them and see where they are with electronic books and maybe creating something for your course. One example that I'm going to show you, once I'm signed in to the Lippincott's North Carolina Concepts, I can click on any concept that I am teaching in the classroom at this time. Let's look up culture. So I'm going to tap on that. And then to my right of the screen, here's my exemplars. Let me look up values and beliefs, and let me find the book pages for values and beliefs. I'm going to tap on that. And it gives me access to multiple books. Say I would like to use the Ritchie book because I know we're going to be talking about maternity values and beliefs. Well, if I look through here, as a faculty member, I can assign my students anything from any of these books that you think would be information that will meet their objectives. You see there's a page number there? Well, that page number matches the hard book. So if you wish to use hard book and electronic book, you can do both. Again, the hard copy books come with this electronic feature through Lippincott. And giving you the estimate cost of that material, $400 for all of these books, having hard copy plus electronic books, I think is a wonderful deal. But let me go ahead and pull one of these up. I'm going to click on this one particular link here. And that's what the reader looks like. Now, this is online. Using my PDF Expert, I'm going to send it to that. Then, once it's there, I can read it offline. So in order to do that, you first have to download the PDF Expert application, which I will show you how to do in a minute. But for now, since we are on this page, I'm going to show you how to send it to your PDF Expert. I simply tap on the screen and see where the top it says Open in Books or Open in. Watch again, I'm going to tap on the screen. It'll pop up right here. Okay? I'm going to choose, and it'll disappear pretty quickly, so it's not annoying you. So you have to tap on it until you can get to it. Tap on it. I'm going to choose Open in, and I get to choose where I want to open it to. If I put it in iBooks, just for your own information, this is just a reader. You cannot annotate. If I place it in PDF Expert, there it goes to PDF Expert. It'll build a file for me. It'll name it for me. If I wish to rename it, I can. But there it is in a file. If I want to expand it, once again, pinch and open up. And I have a wonderful size to read. There's so many things I can do with this. I can highlight. If you take a look at these features up on top, I can make notes. I can put a stamp there. There's so many things I can do with it. I can even send it out. So here's an example. If I'm in class, I'm a student, and I'd like to write a note about this one particular area that I'm going to highlight. So I'm going to pick up my highlighter, just tap on your highlighting pen here, and choose a color, and you can highlight. That's a bad example. I don't like that, but it's not permanent. How many books do you know of that you can highlight and then take your highlight feature away? Well, to remove that, click on this check mark, tap on the area that you wish to delete. I don't like this highlighter. I'm going to tap on that, hit delete, and it's gone. Okay, so if I'd like to highlight, and also if I wanted to add a signature, I could. If I want to add a note, I could. By the way, the signature is this icon. And then here, if I wanted to add a note, I click on the note. and it highlights, and I put the note wherever it is I'd like to write the note. And I can tell myself to study this because that's what my instructor said to study. And hit return right here. And you can go ahead and remove your pad. Tap anywhere outside of that note right here. And there you are. There's your note. Okay? And if I wish to highlight information, once again, tap on your highlight. I'm going to shrink my highlighter down. And I'm going to choose, instead of covering, I'd like to highlight. Okay. So it gives you an idea. All right, so I'm sitting in class. The instructor said this particular area is very important. Please read. You might want to study that for your test. Only in the utopia world, right? But anyway, I've highlighted that, and in order for it to save it, you must hit that check mark. Hit the check mark, and it is saved. Now I can email this to my buddy. I'm sitting in class, and my poor buddy's at home sick with the flu, so I'm going to send it. So I just clicked on that arrow. It'll give me all of these features. I'd like to email it, please, so send by email. Generally, you want to send it in the document form. What this document form does, it allows the recipient to make changes, so annotations can be done. So I'm going to click on that. Send it. And I'm not going to put anything in my subject matter. And off it goes. It's sent out. So with that, once you have that completed, you can go in there, make any changes, use any of the features that you see on the very top of the screen. Using the PDF Expert, you can create files. And these are the files that I have created. Every application has a feature to teach you how to use the application. And this particular one for PDF Expert, it came with the PDF manual. And this manual will tell you everything as far as how to create files and how to use your highlighters and etc. Pretty easy to use. If I wanted to create files, it's just this plus sign here, and I can create files. If I wish not to have any of my documents and files, I can have them free without files. If I wish to rename any of my documents, I just simply tap on it. It can bring me to the information that I'm looking at. Double check your information. Is that the one I want? Click your edit up on top. Highlight the one that you wish to change. To your far right of the screen, again, you see the arrow out. Click that. That means you're going to change it. I can either open it in another application or I can rename it. So I'm going to rename it at this time. And I'm just going to call it Abrams 9. Done. And there it is, Abrams 9. If I wish to going to hit that arrow again. If I wish to open it in another application, I can simply send it to iBooks, iAnnotate, or any of these other applications that I wish to use. So that's using the PDF Expert in a nutshell. And we will address some more of the PDF Expert because this is something that we use a lot in the nursing program. This particular application is extremely useful, especially for students when going to the clinical site and collecting data. I have a clinical paperwork blank form here that I can show you the different features of. But the clinical paperwork that we use for assessment, for example, looks like this. And I will show you how to get your documents to your iPad. And you would be surprised how simple it is to get your documents to your iPad. One thing I should mention is if you are using Moodle, your documents from your iPad will not upload to Moodle. So it has to be emailed, or it can be transferred from your iPad to iTunes, and from iTunes you can transfer it to your desktop, from your desktop upload it to Moodle. That is one thing to keep in mind. Anyway, if you are a student or an instructor and you're using this feature, you're typing your information out, once you complete your data, just tap on your screen. You can use any of your features up on top to make your changes. Once you're done and you wish to email it to yourself, once again, it's that feature going outwards. And you can mail that off to yourself. Once it's mailed, you can go into your email, save it to your desktop, and then upload it to Moodle if that's the direction you need to go. The other feature that you want to look at is if you want to save this as part of your bookmarks, you can save it as a bookmark. You can save it in an outline or make annotations. This plus sign, if you click on the plus, you can create another new bookmark if you wish. So there's so many features to the PDF Expert. This application is $9.99. I'm going to go back to the home screen and show you how to download this application. Before I do, there's one more blank copy that I'd like to show you. And that's this. This is a form that we use in the nursing program for students to retrieve medication data. What we've done was we placed this form on one format. So there's several pages for medication. And then we added the lab form to the same section. And then here's their clinical reasoning web and for their rationales. So everything they need for clinical, students, everything you need for clinical is here. If you wish to annotate, you can. Just tap on the box and you can type your data in there. If you want to delete that, land on it. Select all, and then cut. Okay? Using the same basic features. Instructors, if you're correcting paperwork, see this little stamper on the very top? Very useful. Click on your stamper. Where do you want to add your stamp feature? Tap anywhere on your screen. Say, for example, you're correcting something in this area. If it's something that you do like and you approve it, just tap on approve, and there you are. Hit done. So the stamp feature may help with cutting down time on correcting paperwork. As well, if you wanted to sign something, remember I had my signature already set up. And the PDF manual will show you how to create your signatures. And if I wanted to, I don't know if you can see this, note or text. If I wanted to add a note or text, I can do that here. And I can add something to it. If I wanted to change information there, I can. But that's one of the features that's there. I'm not going to save it, because once I save it, it's going to keep this information here. So I'm taking it out, and there you're done. If you have any questions, further questions about the PDF Expert, once again, go to the PDF manual, and there's more features in there. These are the basic features that you will need for clinical, and I will show you how to get your documents from your PC to your iPad.